May I request you please to remain standing. That was the national anthem for the host nation. Now we are going to keep standing for the national anthem of EAC anthem. Media team, can we please play the EAC anthem? The anthem for the East African member states. Media team, please. Okay. May I request you please to sit down? To the many internationals who are visiting Mogadishu for the first time, I would like to say that Mogadishu is far more interesting when explored from within than it appears from the outside. And with that, I would like us to take through a video that gives us a glimpse of the city. May we play that video, please?
This is your Captain Abdullahi speaking. Thank you for choosing Somali Airlines and welcome to Mogadishu, Somalia. The local temperature is about 30 degrees Celsius, approximately 8...
Welcome to Mogadishu, the heart of Somalia, and a city of resilience, history, and beauty. Beneath the endless blue sky lies Leto Beach, golden sands, crystal waters, and a place where life moves with the rhythm of the ocean. Step into history, 100 kilometers, the longest in mainland Africa. Along its shores, the Mogadishu Lighthouse stands tall, a symbol of connection, guiding travelers across generations. Mogadishu is also a city of knowledge, home to countless schools, learning centers, and universities. Among its most notable institutions are Somali National University, the country's historic public institution, and CMUD University, a leading name in Somalia's higher education. Together, they symbolize the capital's commitment to learning, progress, and opportunity. Every corner of Mogadishu offers a taste of Somali hospitality, from fresh seafood by the ocean to our world-famous Somali tea. Mogadishu is more than a destination. It is history, culture, resilience, and hope. A city ready to welcome East Africa and the world. This October, Mogadishu proudly hosts EACCON 2025, opening its doors to leaders, innovators, and dreamers across the region.
Republic of Somalia will this...
Discover Mogadishu. Discover Somalia.
Allow me to thank the local and international media with us here, capturing every moment. EACCON 2025 is organized by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the Federal Republic of Somalia, the Ministry of Education, Culture and Higher Education of the Federal Republic of Somalia, the Ministry of Agriculture and Irrigation of the Federal Republic of Somalia, Somali National University, Simat University, and the University of Beirut. We thank them for putting in the effort and all the work and bringing all these people together. Now allow me to invite onto the stage the conference chair to give his remarks. Dr. Mohammed Mahmoud is a decorated academic leader with extensive experience in strategic planning, institutional development, and UN procurement policies and frameworks. He holds a PhD in peace, governance, and development from the UN-mandated University for Peace. He has dedicated many years of service at higher education sector, holding different leadership positions from faculty dean to deputy rector and finally to rector. Dr. Mohammed Mahmoud now serves as the rector of Somali National University, and he is this year's conference chair. Please join me in welcoming him into the stage. Please, Doctor, welcome.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. بعد. Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, distinguished representatives from East Africa Community Secretariat, heads of diplomatic missions, development partners, university leaders, members of the private sector, international and local media representatives, esteemed delegates from East Africa, participants, thank you very much and warm welcome to you all to East Africa Community Conference 2025. It's a great honor to welcome you to East Africa Community Conference 2025 right here in Mogadishu, a city that is once again becoming a center for regional dialogue, innovation, and partnership. EACCON 2025 is an annual regional forum dedicated to advance economic integration, fostering trade, driving sustainable development across East Africa community countries. This year's edition is jointly organized by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Ministry of Education, Culture and Higher Education, Ministry of Agriculture and Irrigation, Somali National University, Simat University, University of Beirut, Somali Chamber of Commerce, Chairman Agents for International Cooperation, JIZ, and Tanzanian Chairman Center for East African Legal Studies. This year's theme is under Advanced Productive Sector Cooperation for socio-economic transformation in East Africa community. Over the next 2 days, we explore the 4 pillars under that theme. First, smart agriculture and food security, digital payments and financial inclusion, trade facilitation and regional economic integration, investment and private sector growth. Alongside our main session here, we have a number of strategic side events. First, We have the investment CEO roundtable that's aimed to unlock capital and foster regional business partnerships will be held this evening in the Cal Hotel. We also have the education executive roundtable focused on advancing harmonized higher education and quality assurance across East Africa community. That will be held also this evening at Jazeera Hotel. We also launched the East Africa Community AI Alliance in Somalia first time, which contributes to Somali's integration into regional digital transformation efforts. Again, we have an AI training workshop for Somali universities facilitated by GIZ and UNESCO Campus Africa and CIMED Institute of AI. Before I conclude, please let me extend my deepest appreciation to the organizing committee, from advisory board, program team, editorial, media and communication, logistics and industry engagement, and all who work tirelessly behind the scenes. Your commitment made this conference possible. Please join me, give warm round of applause to the organizing committee. Thank you. We are equally grateful to the conference sponsors, GIZ, Hormuz Telecom, the Abshul Group, Sanjad, for their generous partnership and commitment to advance regional cooperation. Distinguished delegates and participants, I urge you to engage fully over those 2 days. Please listen, integrate, connect, and collaborate each other. Thank you very much, and thank you for your taking your time to attend this conference. And we have also an exhibition next to the conference hall. So if you have a time, please visit that exhibition as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mohammed Mahmoud, for delivering the welcoming remarks. Now we will proceed with our program, and I would invite onto the stage Dr. Abdikarim Muhyiddin to deliver organizers' remarks. Dr. Abdikarim Muhyiddin is a visionary leader who has risen through the ranks of CIMED University, from Director of Public Relations to Director of International Cooperation to Deputy Rector for Institutional Development, and he now serves as the Rector of CIMED University. Dr. Abdikarim holds a PhD in Business Administration from Atlim University in Turkey, and he is an advocate for research and innovation in higher education. It is worth mentioning that he was EACCON's 2025 conference chair, and last year's conference being the first held in Mogadishu, it is safe to say that he laid the foundation for this conference and many more to come. With that, please join me in welcoming Dr. Abdikarim onto the stage to deliver the organizing remarks.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. شرف وين إيتها فرحات إن ما تورتين التاجنا هاي شركة إيكون إديشن كيسي لبعض شركة سنة كوران هل كان كقبلني مركز وحنا هين بربرة دي بلو وحنا رأينا هل كان كعرب بابه فكرة الشركة waxay ka timid nin oday oo nala joogo oo aan rajayn doono inuu halkan ka hadli doono oo la yiraahdo Rane. waxaan garab weyn iyo kaalmo ka helnay hay'adda GIZ oo qaabaysay shirka 2024 sida uu dhici lahaa. waxaan markaas kadib aan helnay dad kaloo nagala qayb galay shirka oo ay ka mid yihiin East Africa Secretariat, IOCA. waxaan rabaa inaan u mahad celiyo dhammaan dadkii suurtagal ka dhigay shirka aan ku fikiraynay inuu noqdo mid iska yar, mid regional ah, saameyn weyn yeeshay. in ka badan 50 qofood oo booqasho caalamiga ku yimid Soomaaliyana suurtageli. wuxuu ahay indhafur. waxaan ka baranay wax weyn. wuxuu kaga duwanaa shirarkii la qaban jiray. waxaa ka soo baxay shaqooyin lagu dhisay shirka maanta aan joogno. waxaa la soo saaray 4 warqado oo tilmaamaya siyaasada laga rabay dowladda Soomaaliya inay wax ka bedesho, waxna ka qabato. waxaa ka soo baxay roadmap weyn oo Soomaaliya u tilmaamayay haddii aan rabno inaan East Africa suuqeeda ka faa'iideysano habka iyo hanaanka aan u marayn. shirkaas wuxuu dhiirigeliyey midka maanta aan joogno oo ka weyn kii hore inaan qabanno. waxaan rabaa inaan u mahad celiyo cid allaala cid ka mid ah organizerska shirka nagala shaqeysay oo ay ugu horeyso wasaaradda arrimaha dibadda oo hadda mandate u leh arrimaha la xiriiro East Africa, oo ay ku xigto wasaaradda waxbarashada, oo ay ku xigto wasaaradda agriculture-ka, oo aan rabo inaan ammaan gaar halkan ka sheego inay ahaayeen wasaaraddii ugu dambeysay ee ku soo biirtay shirka iyo wasaaraddii ugu horeysay oo ugu shaqada marka laga hadlayo ugu waxqabadka fiicneed wasaaradaha shirka qaybta nagala. waxaan rajeynayaa shirka doodo cilmiyeed oo aad iyo aad muhiim u ah oo dhammaantood taabanayo howlaha hortabinta u leh dalkeena iyo dadkeena ee fududeyn doona inaan ka faa'iideysano suuqaas weyn aan ku biirnay ayaa looga hadli doonaa. sidii si lamidana waxaan rajeynaynaa inay ka soo baxaan talooyin loo jeedinayo dowladda Soomaaliya, kuwa loo jeedinayo ganacsatada danaynaysa inay maalgeliyaan dalka, kuwa danaynaya inay maalgeliyaan East Africa, ganacsatada caalamiga ah ee danaynaysa inay Soomaaliya ka maalgeliso ganacsiyo laga yaabo inay suuq ka helaan East Africa-ba. waxaan rabaa inaan dadka shirkan soo qaban qaabiyey ammaan iyo bogaadin gaar halkan uga jeediyo. shirku wuxuu markaan aad diiradda u saari doonaa sanadkan laba area aad iyo aad muhiim u ah. mid ka mid ah waa hay'adaha tacliinta sare ee dalka sidee ugu diyaar garoobi doonaan waxa la yiraahdo Common Higher Education Framework oo East Africa ay rabto inay dhaqan geliso. areada labaad oo si fiican looga hadli doonana waa sidee loo kobcin karaa loona horumarin karaa wax soo saarka dalka gaar ahaan beeraha iyadoo la isticmaalayo teknolojiyadda casriga ah ama artificial intelligence. sida gudoomiyaha shirka uu sheegay waxaan maanta halkan loogu dhawaaqi doonaa alliance ay leedahay East Africa oo la xiriiro artificial intelligence-ga. waxaan rajeynayaa shirkan waxa ka soo baxo inuu qaabeyn doono howlo waaweyn oo wasaaradaha iyo hay'adaha organizerska oo shirkan qaybta ka ah oo dhan ay hadhow howl maalmeed u qaadan doonaan. shirka waxaa taabagelintiisa nagala qayb galay shirkadda Hormuud oo sanadkii horena sponsor gareysay, sanadkanna ka mid ah dadkii sponsor gareeyay. waxaa sanadkan ugu soo biiray Dahabshiil. waxaa mar walba qayb ka ahay shirkan Chamber of Commerce. dhammaantood waxaan rabaa inaan mahad celiyo. si gaar ah waxaa igula mahad celisiin safiirka Talyaaniga oo sanadkii horena nala joogay, sanadkaana nala jooga, saaxiib dhowna la ah bahda tacliinta sare, si gaar ah jaamacadda Simad iyo jaamacadda Ummadda. waxaan kaloo rabaa inaad ila soo dhaweysiin oo asagana u sacbisiin safiirka dalkan oo laalanahay Kenya oo asna sanadkii labaad shirka nala jooga. aad iyo aad u mahadsantiin. waxaan rajeynayaa shirka waxa ka soo baxo inay noqdaan wax aad u miro dhalo, ka baaxad weyn kana mug weyn wixii sanadka hore soo baxay. dowladduna waxaan rajeynayaa inay diyaar u tahay inay hirgeliso meelna mariso talooyinka shirkan ka soo baxay. asalaamu calaykum waraxmatullaahi wabarakaatu.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abdikarim, as well as Dr. Mahmoud, who were really very keen into making sure that we are here today for the second year of the East African Conference 2025. I would like you to first please give them a big round of applause to both our chairmen from last year and this year. No, that is not enough. Please give them a big round of applause. Thank you so much. As you know, a vision of this scale, East African Conference, bridging different nations, different communities, all for one goal, requires strategic partnership. We know today here, we will not be able to be here if it wasn't for people who believed in the power of regional integration, people who are ready to invest, as well as to connect us as one community in making sure that we have one integrated East African community. And those people are none other than our sponsors. And the first one is Hormuz Telecom. I think every Somali definitely knows what Hormuz Telecom is. They are a pioneer to innovation. They are a true Somali success story. And for those who don't know, those who are not Somalis, you cannot speak of innovation, you cannot speak of connectivity without mentioning Hormuz Telecom in Somalia. Now, without further ado, I'd like to welcome to the stage the CEO and Chairman of Hormuz Telecom, Mr. Ahmed Mohamed Yusuf. Please give him a big round of applause.
بسم الله الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله السلام عليكم aad iyo aadan ugu faraxsanahay inaan sanadkii labaad halkan aan soo istaagno annagoo u adeegayna waddanka iyo horumarkiisa iyo East Africa Community. Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, Somali Chamber of Commerce, distinguished guests, colleagues and friends. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Once again, it is an honor to address you at East African Conference 2025, a gathering that reflects the confidence of the region stepping into the next economic chapter. 2 decades ago, Somalia economies was held together by resilience and ingenuity. Enterprise never stopped. Traders crossed borders. Entrepreneurs kept faith in tomorrow. Today, same determination moves through digital networks that reaches every district. Proof of how far innovation and determination can take a nation. Somalia understands what it means to build from within. When institutions were fragile, it was our private sector, our traders, our telecom pioneers, our entrepreneurs who kept the country connected. Hormuz Telecom was born in that moment, a Somali company built to serve Somali, determined to rebuild the communication and commerce from the ground up. In that years, since Hormuz has played a leading role in Somali's digital transformation, we pioneered country's first mobile money platform, EVC Plus, which today enables millions of daily transactions and financial inclusion. We helped extend 4G and 5G coverage nationwide. We partnered with humanitarian organizations to deliver secure digital transfers. After years defining resilience, Somali now moves with purpose, from rebuilding to leading, from isolation to integration. Technology continues to drive that progress. Mobile connectivity, digital payments have shut down the economic map, allowing it to trend in. Somalia is emerging as the digital gateway to the Horn of Africa. Our network and fintech system support trade, remittance, financial inclusion, linking people, markets, and opportunities. Those go beyond national system, and that moment is matched by a clear national vision. Excellencies, Somali's story is no longer one of recovery. It is one of renewal and a nation rebuilt through business powered by technology, strengthened by the partnership. If we align our ambition with action, we can build an East African that competes globally and prosper collectively. We stand ready to connect our region to the future as a bridge, as a partner, as a digital gateway to the Horn of Africa. Thank you very much, and I wish you next third year will be success further than this. Thank you very much.
A big round of applause for Mr. Ahmed from Hormuz Telecom. Thank you so much for believing in this cause and for sponsoring the East African Conference for the second year. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to share a bit story about our next speaker and the organization that they represent. I was raised in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. And when I was young, I don't remember exactly how old I am, I always hear lacagta dahabshiila lagugu soo diray. I think for Somalis, they will understand what that means. Anagoo yaryar oo wadamo kala duwan adduunka joogno waa waxa maqlaysaa heblaayo lacagta dahabshiila ku tala soo doono. Taas waxay muujinaysaa shaqada quruxda badan ee dahabshiil qabanayso matalayso wadankeena iyo horumarka ka socdo adduunka iyo Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome to the stage now our next sponsor, another true Somali success story, connecting families, connecting businesses, and ensuring that we make a difference in the region. Please help me welcome Mr. Omar Hassan Mohammed, the Managing Director of the Habshil Group, South Central Somalia.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وبعد ugu horeyn waan soo diyaarsaday barnaamijka oo khudbadda aan jeedinayo oo English laakiin waxaan ka doorbidayaa afkayga hooyo waxaan rasheynayaa inta kale aan afkeena ku hadlayno waxa weeyaan waa loo tarjumayaa ugu horeyn waxaa mahad iska leh Ilaahay subhanahu wa ta'ala waqtigan inoo halkan isugu keenay arintan weyna inoo suurtageliyay waxaan kale oo mahad celinayaa dhammaan madaxda iyo ummadda Soomaaliyeed ee halkan isugu timi ayagana hadii Ilaahay ka dhigayo aad baan ugu mahad celinayaa una salaamaya inta kadib shirkadda Dahabshiil inta ka hor waxaan idin ugu mahad celinayaa wasaaradaha iyo jaamacadaha soo diyaariyay programkan ee isku soo dubariday waxa kale oo mahad leh dhalinyarada runtii halkan maanta inoo adeegaya shirkan iyo howlkan quruxda badan inoo farsameeyey inoo hagaajiyey haddii la ka dhigo ina daadihinaya intaa kadib shirkadda dahabshiil oo ka mid ah shirkadaha loogu kalsoonida badan yahay waxaa la aasaasay ilaa iyo 1960kii iyadoo uu aasaasay xaaji maxamed siciid oo ah mulkiilaha shirkadda dahabshiil group intaa kadib waqtigaa way iska koobnayd ma garanaysaa shirkaddu ma garanaysaa raashinka iyo bagaashka iyo wixii markaa laga ganacsan jiray ayuu xaajigu ka bilaabay laakiin waxay laba kaclaysay shirkaddu 1990kii markii ay dhibaatada weyn inagu dhacday ee waddankeena uu dagaalku ka dhacay hadda aynu ka soo kabannay ayay shirkaddu aad u laba kaclaysay waxaanay ka bilowday markaa oo awoodda saartay halkii inantu hadda ay sheegaysay oo ah lacagta loo diro dadka Soomaaliyeed ee tabaalaysan ee ka qaxay beydkoodii iyo baradoodii halku dhig bay ahayd inta inantu sheegtay oo ahayd dahabshiil lacag baa ku taale u kaalay waxa ay shirkaddu soo martay marxalado iyo duruufo kala duwan iyo haddii la ka dhigo horumar marba meel ay maartay maraysay maanta oo aynu ku jirno 2025 shirkadda dahabshiil waxay ka kooban tahay ama ay ku adeegtaa in ka badan 14 shirkadood oo haddii la ka dhigayo inta ugu muhiimsani ay maanta maartay ay shaqeynayaan si fiican u shaqeynayaan shirkan maanta aynu joogno waxa ka khuseeya ama ugu ma garanaysaa adeegyadeeda community-ga maanta aynu u adeegayno East African Community waxa ka mid ah bangiga aad maqasheen oo la yiraahdo Dahabshiil Bank International oo haddii la ka dhigayo si fudud maartay lacagaha loogana helo looguna diro service badanna qabta waxa ka mid ah tii aynu inantu sheegaysay oo ahayd xawaaladda dahabshiil oo runtii ummadda Soomaaliyeed qof kasta xasuusan yahay waqtigii dadku dhibaatadu haysay inay u adeegto oo dadkii masaakiinta ay qaxay dagaalku qaxiyay ay qof walba gurigiisa u geyso waxaan xasuustaa anigu waxaan bilaabay oo shirkad ku soo bilaabay 1992 waan ku soo bilaabay 1992kii waqtiga iyada ah sida dadka aan ku gaarsiinay lacagta ku gaarsiin jirnay waxay ahayd si mucjiso ah runtii oo aan la qiyaas karin iyadoo aan telefoon jirin oo telex jirin oo haddii ilaahay ka dhiga muxuu ahaayey wax lagu xidhiidhaaba aanay jirin ayaa waxaa ilaahay noo suurtageliyey inaanu dadka lacagta ugu geynno ma garanaysaa dhulka ay u qaxeen iyo meelihii haddii ilaahay ka dhiga muxuu dagaalku ku qabsaday haddana waxaan maraynaa in aanu dahabshiil money transfer in ay lacagta kuugu soo dirto mobilekaaga haddii ilaahay ka dhiga adigoo jooga gurigaaga kana dirsato haddii aad u baahato shirkadda telecommunicationka ee Somali la yiraahdo dahab oo aad maqasheen mobile money ah deer oo haddii ilaahay ka dhigayo muxuu ahaa fiber optica Horn Petroleum oo shidaalka ka ganacsata micro dahab oo u adeega dadka ma garanaysaa danyarta ah ee aan lacagaha waaweyn ma garanaysaa qaadan karin laga yar u baahan Somtuna oo dhawaan laga hirgeliyay magaalada Berbera oo productionkeedii uu maanta muqdisho yaalo soo gaadhay oo maartay qasacadaysa kalluunka haddii la kariyo tuunada qasacadaysa intaa ku dhaafo dahabshiil group waxay isku xidhaa dhammaan bulshooyinka iyo adduunka gaar ahaan East African Community haddii la ka dhigo meel ay joogaanba iyagoo ugu adeegaysa adeegyada aan idin tilmaamay ma garanaysaa aan kor ku soo xusay hadafka dahabshiil group waxa ka go'an inaan hormuud u noqono isla markaana la jaan qaadno aragtida East African Community meel ay joogaanba oo ah isdhexgalka ganacsiga dhaqaalaha isbeddelka digitalka imika lagu wada hadlo ama magaranaysa la isticmaalo ugu dambeyn anigoo ku hadlaya magaca dahabshiil group waxaan soo dhaweynayaa hadafka ay leeyihiin community-gan is urursada ay leeyihiin East African Community oo maanta halkan aynu lagu soo bandhigay sidii loo gaari lahaa hiigsiga iyo siyaasadda EACCON oo ugu muhiimsan digitalka leadershipka iyo innovationka waxaana soo dhaweynayaa kulamada dambe ee laga hadli doono arrimahan haddii Ilaahay ka dhigo aad iyo aad baan idin salaamayaa waa mahadsantihiin assalaamu calaykum waraxmatullaahi wabarakaatuh
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to acknowledge the presence of a visionary leader, the President of the Federal Republic of Somalia, His Excellency Hassan Sheikh Mohamud. A big round of applause for him. Madaxweyne soo dhawow, kunjir soo dhawow, barnaamijkeena East African Conference 2025. Waxaan jeclaan lahaa sidoo kale in a big round of applause la siiyo speakerkeena Mr. Umar Hassan oo ka socda Dahabshiil. Ladies and gentlemen, now we'll move to our next sponsor, Mr. Bjorn Richer, who is the cluster coordinator for the East African Community Cluster at GIZ. Mr. Richer has been instrumental in advancing regional cooperation and industrial development across the East African community through innovative public-private partnerships and cross-border initiatives. GIZ has been here for the second year supporting the East African Conference. Please give a big round of applause and a huge welcome to Mr. Bjorn Richer. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thanks for the private sector. I address without the protocol. I think it's great to see Hormuz and Dabshield to lead the regional economic integration. And that's also what GIZ is trying to do for the East African community, for the 8 partner states of East Africa, that is at the moment the driving economic force in Africa. It goes without saying that I also would like to congratulate not only the President and the colleagues from the Cabinet on this conference, but particularly also for the organizers and the young people in this country that are driving from the universities and from the private sector the regional economic cooperation and the vision of a united and prosperous East Africa. Congratulations on this young population. Somalia has made significant progress since becoming the youngest member of the East African community. There's a roadmap existing. I think you make progress even more than other partner states in the EEC, and you are also taking responsibility in the East African community by co-chairing the meetings of the Council of Ministers and obviously also of the summits as a rapporteur. So you have done magnificent progress. I would like to highlight 3 corporations that we are supporting on behalf of the German Development Corporation. First and foremost is the payment systems. I think The colleagues from the private sector highlighted this already. Digital payment is not only the future, but is reality over here. Now it's the question how to interlink this to other partner states of the East African community with their own systems. And you are partnering with Rwanda and Tanzania, interlinking the so-called national switches to make sure you can send money via mobile payment across borders, and you actually limit then also resources for transaction. That's something we gladly support with the countries of Rwanda and Tanzania under the so-called cross-border payment system master plan of the EC. So we're looking forward to have this happening. You also understand that countries like Kenya and Uganda are not yet having a national switch. I think you can be proud to be leading this kind of digital transformation. The second topic I think the President also highlighted last year is blue economy. This is obviously a flagship that you would like to drive home for the regional economic cooperation to have more income for the tax, but also more income for the people. I think we're looking forward at the moment to develop a project proposal with the Ministry of Fishery on blue economy to tap into climate financing. And this is something we would like to further in the cooperation of the EC blue economy strategy that has been endorsed. Obviously, you have the longest coastline, and you should also take the lead with the other blue economy partners, Kenya and Tanzania, in this effort. Last but not least, I think the director from CIMAT already hinted that artificial intelligence is not a topic that might come tomorrow. Like a lot of people are saying, the revolution is coming. It's right here, right there. And we're happy as we speak that UNESCO and GIZ is implementing with CIMAT and other universities the first training on artificial intelligence as part of your access to the AI Alliance of the EC. That is one of the steps forward that the EC Summit asked last year to use digital transformation to deepen regional economic integration. Thank you very much for this topic. I think you know that Germans have benefited a lot from the European integration. We are one of the leading partner states of the European Union, and we're also gladly sharing these experiences. We're also gladly understanding that the East African community is at the moment rethinking their economic partnerships with the EU in the crisis of free trade. We're looking forward to support that and looking forward for even closer ties between the EU and the EC. And that's something we gladly understand is also on the agenda of the heads of states when they meet at the end of November. Last but not least, I think I brought my colleague that is heading the cooperation with CIMAT in the area of support to the roadmap. Maybe also shed some 2-3 sentences on our support on the roadmap, which goes to the EC Secretariat and to Somalia. And obviously we're partnering with CIMAT University, but this is not a cooperation that is closed shop. This is a cooperation where I think we would like to ensure everybody benefits from. Maybe over to Katerina.
Thank you very much also from my side, Mr. President. It's an honor to be here today. I would just like to share a few sentences on the cooperation with CIMAT that we actually kicked off yesterday at a pre-meeting to today. We're very happy to partner to really support the Republic of Somalia to now further the implementation of the roadmap, to monitor the progress that has been made, and to focus, and that's also why we are here today, on the productive sectors, where we have the theme here. So we would like to really invite everyone here to be part of this partnership and to cooperate together to support the further integration of Somalia into the EAC. It's a market of 320 million people, East Africans, that can benefit from each other, and we look forward very much to supporting it. And we are here for you and are very happy to continue maybe also discussions during the next 2 days. Thank you very much from our side.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to the GIZ team for their continuous support. Next, we'll go into the keynote presentation. And for our first keynote presentation that focuses on laying the foundations for regional transformation, aligning Somalia's National Transformation Plan 2025 to 2029 with the EAC Vision 2050. Please help me welcome to the stage Mr. Kamal Dahir Gutale, who is the Permanent Secretary from the Office of the Prime Minister of the Federal Government of Somalia. Please give him a big round of applause.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Subax wanaagsan dhammaantiin. Your Excellency, Mr. President, allow me to appreciate and thank the organizers of this conference and its sponsors from the private sector. I want to thank Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Education, as well as our two big universities, Somali National University and CIMAD University, and Birth University, if I spell it correctly. As well as, let me thank our private sector, the Chamber of Commerce, and Hormuz and the Habshil groups of companies. Thank you very much. I don't know if the presentation is in the background, but just it's a profound honor to stand before you today at this remarkable gathering. I don't know, Joeria, do we have the presentation here? It's coming. My responsibility this morning is to tie between the National Transformation Plan, the Continental Vision of 2060, and the East African Community Vision of 2050. And those visions is the brainchild of our president, President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud. He is the one who advocated Somalia's accession to the East African community, and as well as the foundation of the Continental Vision of 2060, which allows us to benchmark ourselves with regional development, as well as the regional, developmental vision of 2050. And as you can see from here, Somalia historic milestone that our first official participation as a full member of the East African community is a statement of intent and reaffirmation of the Somalia's future tied to the collectively destiny of East Africa. My theme is the laying foundation for regional transformation, a theme that resonates deeply with our national aspirations and aligns perfectly with EEC Vision 2050. Both our national and regional plans share one purpose: to transform the lives of our people, to turn fragility into resilience, potential into productivity, and dreams into development. A new era of partnership. When Somalia joined the East Africa community, it was not merely an expansion of borders, but it was broadening of opportunity to collaborate, to trade, and to prosper together. Our integration brings a new energy to the community, a youthful nation of entrepreneurs, pastoralists, and innovators eager to contribute. It also opens the East African community to the Indian Ocean, connecting our region to vast trade routes of Asia, Middle East, and Europe. Somalia's transformation plan becomes the national instrument through which this integration will take shape. It is the framework that translates regional goals into local action, ensuring our progress strengthened East African community. With that said, let me go slide by slide and go to the second slide. Basically, our integration to the East African community will give us a regional benchmarking, and the regional benchmarking starts with all the big blocks that economically developed. They have where you say the North American free trade agreement in America, Canada, Mexico, or the European zone where 28 countries and 450 million communities have integrated into one market, as well as the successful ASEAN market in the ASEAN region where 10 countries have partnered themselves into regroup into one free market zone, and China as well as other African nations. So East African community has the potential to become in the long run by 2050 one our aspirations to become high middle income countries, to compete and to become a region that their communities and nation prosper and get economic development. The NTB 2025-2029 cross-cuts with the vision as well as the East African community vision, as well as the Somali Centennial vision of 2060. They have almost identical pillars, which I will go through from here. Go to the next slide. This is the East African community's vision to become now in 2014, when the East African community was started, was their vision to raise from $790 per capita income to almost $10,000 by 2050 per capita income. Our 2060 vision also envisions to Somali to raise from now around 800 per capita income to almost $13,000 to become Somalia a higher middle income country. So we are almost by 2060, if we are envisioning $13,000, we are in around $10,000 by 2050. And we are in line with the region's benchmarks. On the pillars, we have around 6 pillars in the CV60, as well as 5 pillars in the NTP, and it acrossly goes through agricultural development, agri-business, and food security, as well as industrialization. Now, we are actually, when we have done the current state benchmark, the current status in our situation, we are laying behind the region on almost most of those metrics, but we have a clear plan to develop and to catch up the region's benchmarks. Somalia has planned to have infrastructure development. We are planning to have a new port, a new airport. We are planning to connect our region from Berbera, Bosaso to Gara'at and Hobyo into, and as well as Kismayo, into East African community and the Ethiopian market. And that will give Somalia the necessary infrastructure development that it can connect us to the EAC region. It will also allow the East African community region to connect itself to the Indian Ocean gateway and Somalia's vast blue economy region, if it's oil and gas, ports, as well as a regional gateway to global market. And that will give us a perfect connection and partnership with the East African communities. In agri-food, now we are actually import most of our agri-business, but I think with the region's benchmarking on agri-food, we believe that Somalia will get benefit from the East African community and also will reduce its imports on agri-food. Industrialization, where Somalia now stands on its bottom because of the high cost of energy. I think we need to address the energy sector that actually allows us to start manufacturing and to benchmark with the region. When you look the energy sector in the region, in the East African region, you will have Uganda getting the potential of the Lake Victoria and getting a cheap energy or cheap electricity of 20% of 20 cents. We have Tanzania, who have also around 15 cents and gets advantage of its potential of natural gas. And also we have Kenya, who's taking advantage on its geothermal as well as wind that goes around 50% of its electricity and 13% of its renewable energy. Somalia also will want to diversify its energy sector and electricity sources. Now we are mainly on diesel, which is a bit shame, but also we want to diversify our energy sources, not only to renewable energies, but also other important energy sources like natural gas, as well as, and we have Somalia a proven sources of energy of natural gas sources. We also want to connect our the vast grid of Ethiopian grid that actually comes into a cheaper energy prices. So from there we can actually go into transition into industrialization and manufacturing and benchmark with the region of the East African community. Human capital development. Now I'm glad that our universities are leading us into integrate and partner with East African community, but actually is an area that we are lagging behind all about the region. Our universities, our schools are actually, now we have the Minister of Education who's working on access to education and later on into quality education. And actually is an area that we want to improve, and we have a clear, even though it's very expensive to invest, but we have a clear guideline. On trade and natural resources and environment with the climate crisis that we have, I think is also area that we want to improve in the near future. Go to the next slide, please. This are some of our goals of the East African community. Poverty reduction is almost very important to us. We have two important indicators for the poverty reduction. We have poverty reduction from 2% point of view, that the region, Somalia is now on 54%, and the region is also on above, a little bit above. But on multidimensional poverty, I think Somalia is in over 80% multidimensional poverty when we count the quality of life when it comes to education, health, and other important indicators of poverty. But 67% and reducing when we count only the dollar, the $2 rate of poverty, I think our nation is 54%. But we want also, most of our citizens, around 7 million of them are food insecure, 4 million also are around IDPs. We want to work hard on poverty reduction, and also the region is also struggling with us in that context. Next. Next. I think almost I covered. Okay, this is in this context. As I said, we have to also focus on agriculture, livestock, and our fisheries and the blue economy. It's very unfortunate that we tap only 2% from our blue economy, and we believe the region is not much different from us, including Tanzania and Kenya, and they have that challenge from our on their side as well. But Somalia also now is trying their best to venture into fishing and their blue economy sector. Next. Okay, this is the East African community also. They have a pillar, very important pillar on good government, peace and defense, which is a very important pillar for both under CV60 as well as under the NTP, and other human capital development, economic diversification, which I said it's manufacturing, energy, industrialization, as well as agribusiness. Next. There is a very important sectors that actually the region is focusing as an enabler sector, which is the science, technology, and innovation. Today, I'm glad that we are talking in institutional investments on artificial intelligence, and our universities are leading on us. So digital transformation as well as science and technology is very important to catch up the benchmark and the base of the region. Next. We also have the regional transport integration, customs and trade facilitation, and energy grid. There is some important indicators that actually we need to focus when it comes to customs and trade facilitation. And we have done a lot under the HIBIC process, but also we are lagging behind on this because Somalia is too big, and integrating our fiscal federalism requires a lot of political discussion. It's something that we want also to discuss from Berbera in Somaliland all the way to Kismayo, and I think we want to improve on the customs and how we improve and how we transition to ad valorem. I'm glad now that our customs have started to benchmark on items based, but also we are doing. We also need to improve our trade environment that actually give us some obstacles to our business people. I think the tariffs, we are the lowest in the region, and I think we can improve that. Go ahead. Fisheries sector, I've spoken about it. Go ahead. And this is the ICT sector and innovation. Go ahead. We have spoken to it. I think we have one last on Vision 2060. Go ahead. Yes. This is Vision 2060, and it's this is how Vision 2060 is benchmarked to the NTP, and basically this is the pillars of the Vision 2060, having a capable state, social development, economic development, and other cross-cutting issues. Next. Next. This is a benchmarks for Vision 2060, and around 37 million people. Our growth population will be, Somalia will add by 2060 40 million population, which will increase Somalia into around 60 million people. That's a big nation, and we want to reduce our tax to GDP ratio, which is now around 3%, and we want to take it to 15%. This will give us the indicator of a capable state to 15%. We have other important baselines that to reduce the extreme poverty and other important aspects. Yeah, next. I think this is the way forward. The way forward is, the vision implementation is the most important thing, and the NTB plays the role that as an implementation vehicle and drives some performance indicators that's weekly, monthly, as well as yearly. We do monitor the performance of the public sector. We also want to track the performance of the private sector from now on, because they are part and parcel of the NTP, and most of the projects in the National Transformation Plan, around almost 30% of the projects in the National Transformation Plan are private sector-led growth. And we will do our part, and we hope the private sector will do their part, and no more free check. We hope next time we will monitor our performance collectively, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kamal Dahir Kutale, for that insightful presentation and for your leadership in shaping Somalia's national transformation plan. Your vision continues to anchor our country's alignment with the broader East African dream. I would like some help, please. I would like, before our next speaker comes to the stage, for this podium to be moved to the side. Fadlan hali caawiyo. Waxyar geeskan u riixina. Yes, please give him a big round of applause to Mr. Kamal Gutale for his excellent presentation. We are still in the keynote presentation, and for our next presentation, we will look into public-private partnerships for regional industrialization in the East African community. A discussion on the role of private-public partnerships in strengthening value chains. Please help me welcome all the way from Dar es Salaam, my hometown, Mr. Matthew Yonika Ngaga, who is the legal practitioner and researcher in intellectual property, data protection, and AI Law, University of Dar es Salaam. Karibu sana. Please give him a big welcome. Karibu sana, Mr. Matthew. I would like to please request that you use 5 minutes maximum. Thank you so much.
Your Excellency, President of the Federal Republic of Somalia, I adopt protocol already established by the chairman of the organizing committee. I have been introduced already. A bit limited in time, but I will see what I can do with the 5 minutes. So first of all, I must be keen to thank for the organization. I must attest that from our arrival yesterday, we have been well accommodated. And my role here today is to lay foundation to what is before you here today, as how can public-private partnerships create a proper environment for regional industrialization in the East African community. So I've had the privilege to participate in several conferences with regard to private-public partnerships, and I hope I can deduct that experience into my keynote address here today. So let me just head straight into the water because I have very limited time here. If you can take me to the next slide, please. So basically, in these 5 minutes, I just want us to be in a position to answer one question. How can the East African community tap the maximum benefits from private and public partnerships? So it's a huge congregation here. I want to assume that not all of us are accustomed to what is public and private partnerships, but just for introductory purposes, when the public sector and the private sector combine into multiple different projects with a view to achieve a common purpose, that's usually a public and private partnership. So the public sector usually brings into the table available resources within their land. The private sector usually comes in and injects capital, and in some instances becomes the operator and the funder of these projects. But the ultimate goal here is that eventually these projects come back to the governments of different states for ownership purposes. So these PPPs operate in different ways. But just to be brief, I wouldn't be able to dive into all of them for your understanding, but I know we have a panel discussion, I think later tomorrow, today. I think the panelists will have an opportunity to expand more for your better understanding. But in these different formats or formalities of PPPs, the basic objective is that the public sector has resources, has a funding gap to exploit these resources. So there's an invitation to the private sector to come in. Now, seeing the potential, which has been derived from the pre-feasibility studies, the private sector decides to inject capital, invest. And the ultimate product here is to benefit both, again, the public sector for the services of the members of the community and the state in general, but also the private sector itself is here to recover the operation and investment costs and, of course, make a reasonable profit out of it at the end. Now, if you can just take me to the portfolio for PPPs. The portfolio, if you can just forward the next slides until the portfolio. See, you could have benefited from all these slides, but I don't have time. So just take me to the portfolio, please. Next, yes. So I just wanted to lay down this picture to you for your better understanding. So for East African community, much of PPPs have been divided into these kinds of sectors. So most of the investment has been on energy, particularly electricity, but you will also find a significant investment into ports. But you also find significant investment into water and sewage, as well as natural gas, railways, and airports. So this is the general picture of how collectively public-private partnerships have been injected and operative in East Africa. If you could please take me to the next slide. Now, in general, just to give you a broader picture, this is at least statistically how it looks like in terms of how African states have invested into PPPs. So as you can see here, East Africa, we have a bit of work to do. We are still lagging behind with, of course, in terms of South Africa, Morocco, Egypt, and Ghana, who have more investments done in PPPs and have ultimately transformed these investments into economic benefits. So this was just to give us a portfolio of how we stand in terms of comparative statistics in the East African region. If you can just take me to the next slide, please. Again, next. Next, please. Of course, I've been introduced. My primary profession is a lawyer, so I think it's important just to note down that the legal basis of the PPPs that we are engaging in conversation here today stems from this EAC Industrialization Strategy 2021-2032. But importantly, the East African community has a bill, not yet passed into law, but it is in process of discussion, and it's our recommendation that it's transformed into actual operational law so that we can, again, reap the benefits from it. Also from the EAC investment protocol, which also supports the injection of capital from joint ventures. So I had with me several examples of PPPs, but of course, for purposes of time, you can just skim through these slides. So these ones are from Uganda. If you can just move quickly. These are projects which have been, some of them are still on motion. Some of them have been completed. This is Tanzania. I think you can just take them through the slides. I had initially wanted to speak about each one of these to understand their background and how they've been formulated into actual plays. If you can just move forward again. So also for Kenya, there are significant examples. Just move forward, please. Yes, so I think residents of Kenya or people who've been there, you understand all these, which also infrastructure which have been, of course, the product of public and private partnerships towards industrialization and, of course, maximizing value chains. So I had this compilation of examples from different East African countries just to be able to shed a greater picture of how much benefits have been reaped from these PPPs. So, of course, I think there will be access to these slides, maybe for the benefit of other members if you want to take a look a bit later. So finally, let me just say, these PPPs have a foundation which East African countries, the East African region integration, can use and can tap the benefits from if properly regulated. So I think we will have a better discussion in the panels so as to understand how each public-private partnership works, different formats, and how East African countries can now transform the potential available towards industrialization and strengthening value chains through public and private partnerships. Other than that, let me say shukran. I just wished I had more time to expand on this, but again, it's a privilege to be here, and thank you for accommodating us.
Thank you so much, Dr. Matthew, for your wonderful presentation. We'll move now next to Mr. Mohammed Abdi Ali, who is the chairman of the Somali Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Please give him a big round of applause.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونتوب إليه صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم مدحوينها جمهورية فدرالك صوماليا وزيردنا غالية سفير هذا East African Community مسؤولين كسعتها جناست هذا يكسق قبلياش لما أنت أرد الجامعة وحد الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته salaan ka bacdi mudan madaxweyne farxaday noo tahay in aan markii labaad aan ka soo qayb garno barnaamijkan East African Conference oo runtii ah barnaamij ballaaran oo mar walbaba horumar cusub lagu talaabsanayo sanadkaana uu yahay barnaamijkiisu barnaamij wax soo saar kale la aaday oo dhinaca beeraha ah waxaa moodaa kulankan sanad walba wax cusub ku soo biira waana si gooni Chamber of Commerce uu qayb uga yahay sida hadda ay ka dhawaajiyeen shirkadaha Hormuud iyo Dahabshiilna ay yihiin ina anaga dhan aan ku wada dhex jirno East Africanka oo ganacsatadu ay si guud ugu dhex jirto markii lagu dhawaaqay in Soomaaliya ay ku biirtay East African Community Chamber of Commerce 2023 December ba waa ku biiray East African Chamber of Commerce isla markii waxay farxad u noqotay ganacsatada Soomaaliyeed oo degan toddobadaas gobol ee kaleeto isla markiiba waa la tilaabo qaadeen ganacsataduna waa awalba ku dhex daadsaneed oo Soomaaliya waa businesska wax gooni u yahayba marka alxamdulillah waxay ku tusaysaa markiiba in ganacsatada ay hambi yeelatay ay la qabsatay barnaamijyadaasi oo socodkooda iyo ganacsigooda waliba ay yihiin moolka ugu weyn Kenya East Africa ugu weyn oo yahay mool ay leeyihiin ganacsatada Soomaaliyeed waxa halkaasi la falgal marka uu ka dhacay inaan isla wada socono waxa booqasho noogu yimid Chamber of Commerce Kenya oo halkan aan ku wada seexanay heshiisyo oo aan isdhaafsi bilownay kalluumaysi oo barnaamijkaasi uu dhaqaaqay qaybta fishery-ga iyo ay isku darmeen iyo Kenya maxaan ku raahdaa ganacsatadooda ay bilaabatay in loo dhoofiyo kalluun 2 tan iyo bar barnaamijkaasna uu si fiican hadda u socdo waxa kale oo faa'iido ah oo ayada laftigeeda aan hadda aan isla wadnaa oo isla bil ka hor noo yimid chairmanka East African Chamber of Commerce oo Muqdisho noogu yimid oo ayadana aan wax badan isla gaarnay laakiin aan tilaabooyin rabnay inaan isla qaadno waxay ku tusaysaa marka isku milanka ganacsatada Soomaalida iyo East African Chamber of Commerce inay aad isugu dhex jiraan runtii wax weyn aan ka faa'iidnay waxa maalin dhaweydna soo booqday madaxweyne oo wasaaradda arrimaha dibadda iyo safiirkeena Mareykanka ay soo abaabuleen ganacsato Mareykan ah oo ilaa 15 company oo weyn oo noo yimid halkan noogu yimid oo labadii maalmood oo u dambeysay nala joogay oo ganacsato Soomaaliyeed oo aamina deebli iyo ku jireen ay la socdeen waxaan ka faa'iidnay isdhaxgal weyn oo waliba ilaa 3 heshiis ay wada socdeen ganacsatada Soomaaliyeed iyo ganacsatada Mareykanka waxyaalaha aan ku faanayna waxa kamid ahayd anaga Soomaaliya anagoo businesskeenuba iska business minded aan iska ahayn haddana East African Community-gan aan ku biirnay ilaa 300 milyan dad ka badan waxay noqonaysaa meel la ganacsanayo marka hamiyay gelisay ganacsatada rabtay inay dalkeena maal gashato arintaasi marka waxay keenaysaa in dalkaani marka aad loo maal gashto waliba khaasatan hadda badii beerihii la bilaabay warshadeynta noogu xigi doonta mar badii beeru wax soo saarku oo yimaado industrialka ku xigi doona industrialka marka helana marketkaas aan si fiican aan u gali doona insha Allah marka waxaan si gaar ah rabaa inaan ugu mahad celiyo wasaaradda waxbarashada iyo wasaaradda jaamacadda ummadda iyo jaamacadda Simid oo barnaamijkan soo qaban qaabiyay sanadkii horena si fiican runtii oo ay Simid aad isugu hawshay sanadkan oo kii hore ka tayo badan yahay sanadada dambana waxaan rajaynaynaa inuu asoo kan ka weyn oo carwooyin ay la socdaan inaan isla qabano aan faafin doono insha Allah hadii la yiraahdo intaasaan rabaa inaan ku soo gabagabeeyo madaxweyne amaasintiin salaamu calaykum waraxmatullaahi wabarakaatuh thank you
Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation. Can we give him a round of applause, please? Now we are going to proceed to diplomatic remarks, but before we do that, allow me to say 2 quick things. One, in support of environmental reservation, the organizing committee decided to make everything digital. So to get all conference details, you can simply scan the code at the back of your tag. 2, last year, I was a team player of the organizing committee in a different role. And after the conference, Dr. Abdikarim, who was the conference chair, organized an appreciation ceremony for the team. And I remember in that room, I joked about it was my first time to ever be in the same room with my nation's president. Now that he is here today, I don't know if protocol allows me to shake hands with him. Is that allowed? Can I? Thank you, Mr. President, for that. And I hope the media team captured that, because that picture will live with me forever. Now we are going to proceed to diplomatic remarks. And I'm going to invite onto the stage the Kenyan ambassador to Somalia, His Excellency Kurian Kumbi Iringo. He is a politician and a diplomat with loads of years of experience in leadership. He has also served as a member of parliament for Ingembo Central and made significant contributions in health, trade, and development. Please allow me welcome him onto the stage. Thank you very much.
Thank you. His Excellency the President of the Federal Republic of Somalia, and all distinguished guests, all protocols observed, Amjamboni. Amjamboni, how are you? How are you? Amjamboni, we say Amjamboni is how are you? His Excellency the President and distinguished guests, I take this opportunity to thank the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the Federal Republic of Somalia, co-sponsors, stakeholders for planning this vital conference that aims to solidify and showcase opportunities presented by the East African community. As you observe this year's theme, advancing productive sector cooperation for socioeconomic transformation in the East African community, I note with conviction Somalia is committed to regional integration with particular interest in multilateral cooperation for mutual political and socio-economic benefit for its people and the East African community as a whole. This cooperation cannot be achieved without recognition of the pivotal role played by the distinguished playmakers, strategic development partners, our vibrant youthful demographic, committed civil society organizations, and the key private sector players all present in this room today. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, it's worth noting that Somalia is hosting this conference for the second time as a full member of the East African community, thus celebrating the milestone and picking valuable lessons from the previous edition. Somalia's membership and commitment to the bloc presents a peculiar opportunity for regional integration and expansion of economic market and political robustness in the advancing interest of our people. Kenya is committed to advancing full cooperation with Somalia in all sectors such as political, economic, education, security, nation building, to name but a few, to assist Somalia realize its full potential as a member of the East African community by fostering people-to-people linkages and facilitating business-to-business engagements for sustainable development. I would like to draw your focus on environmental and climate action, as they not only inhibit us from realizing our ideal potential, but also the existing environmental challenges having been capitalized to dividing our people in the quest of utilizing the diminishing biodiversity and natural resources. It is imperative, therefore, to holistically tackle the cross-cutting issues through an integrated, collaborative, and dynamic approach to promote a socio-cohesive and facilitate economic synergies. Your Excellency, on this note, I can assure you of Kenya's steadfast commitment to regional peace and security efforts to ensure Somalia's stability, so as to bolster investor confidence by establishing a conducive environment and a vibrant commercial atmosphere. This will give the competitive advantage to the business community in Somalia to maximize on the broader East African community, region, and global market. To achieve this, I call upon all East African community member states to establish attractive cross-border tariffs and establish policies to encourage smooth and robust regional trade and integration. Finally, Your Excellency, allow me to reiterate that this conference reflects the unmatched resilience of Somalia, and there are people in the quest to inscribe a rightful position, both at the regional and global platform, whilst establishing a strong seal to play a vital role in the community nations owing to our geographical position. Asanteni sana, karibuni Kenya wa Masantai. Thank you very much. Kenya hakuna matata.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador. We are going to proceed with the diplomatic remarks. And the next ambassador I'm going to call is the current ambassador of Italy to Somalia, who has engaged Somali government counterparts to strengthen developmental cooperation, economic reforms, and bilateral relations between Italy and Somalia. And it is under his leadership that the Italian embassy continues to support sectors like the health, infrastructure, and institutional development across Somalia. Without further ado, please allow me to welcome His Excellency Pierre Morio do Kokopi onto the stage. Thank you very much.
Well, after the Swahili Ujambo, I will greet all the present with buongiorno a tutti. His Excellency the President, honorable ministers, representative of East African community, rector of the Somali University, and CMAD, representative of private sector sponsoring this event, representative of GIZ, I would like to congratulate you for your strategic support to this in this sector. Representative also of the chairman of the Chamber of Commerce, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is really a privilege for me to represent Italy in this event. First of all, allow me to praise the federal government of Somalia for the great impulse that they are giving to development of the Somali economy. I really recognize and commend all the efforts that the government is doing. Maybe the results are not yet reflected in statistics or in ranking of a different aspect, but from here we can really see the tremendous efforts and the vision of the government to develop its economy, its society, and for the state building. The event of today is just only one of the many initiatives showing that efforts. It was recalled by the Permanent Secretary of the Prime Minister's Office. I had the honor to attend also the presentation of the National Transformation Plan of the Vision 2016 and many other initiatives promoted by the private sector or different ministries here in Somalia. But coming to the topic of today, joining the East African community has been indeed another significant and fundamental step of a well-designed economic growth strategy. which will allow Somalia to benefit from a more integrated market and to push its outstanding results even forward. Allow me to say that this year's conference themes do really represent an excellent starting point to implement cooperation as far as concern my country with Italy, being this topic is also one of the main objectives that the Italian government wants to implement under the umbrella of its strategy for Africa. One of the objectives of my mandate is to revive the economic links, the historical links between Italy and Somalia. During these months, almost 2 years of my presence here in Mogadishu, dialogue has been productive, and hopefully we will get soon mutual benefit from our cooperation. As per investment stimulated by public-private partnership, there is a wide spectrum of synergies and action to undertake. Finally, let me conclude as a representative of a European country how much can be fundamental a cooperation between the East African community and the European Union. You all know that the European Union is committed to implementing the global gateway, and the African countries are key partners of the European Union. In this regard, the 7th African Union-European Union Summit in Luanda at the end of the month of November is a clear proof of our consistent and lasting commitment in order to build and boost economic cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President, I would like to conclude by expressing my confidence that this forum, as well as other initiatives, will indeed be an important framework within which to develop relation among your countries, first of all, among countries of the Eastern African community, and the European Union at economic, political, and social level. So thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. Thank you so much. Big round of applause for the ambassador from Italy and Kenya. I would like now to welcome to the stage the Deputy Secretary General of the East African Community, in charge of infrastructure, productive sector, social and political sectors. Please give a big round of applause to Honorable Andrea Arik Maluet. That is not enough. Please give him a big round of applause. Welcome him to Somalia.
Thank you very much, Director of Ceremonies. Your Excellency, Dr. Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, President of Federal Republic of Somalia, Rapporteur of EAC Summit of Head of State, and our guests of honor today. Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, Ambassadors, and Commissioners, High Commissioners, Permanent Secretaries, Captains of the industry and leaders of business community present in this conference, heads of development institutions, academics, youth leaders, and members of civil societies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum. It is a great honor and a privilege to stand before you today here in the resilient city of Mogadishu, a city that embodies courage, renewal, and hope. On behalf of the Secretary General of East Africa Community, Her Excellency Veronica Duva, and the entire EAC family, I extend warm greetings and heartfelt appreciation to Your Excellency, Dr. Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, the government, and the people of Federal Republic of Somalia for your generous hospitality and for hosting this landmark event, EACCON 2025. Your Excellency, allow me to begin by commending the Federal Republic of Somalia for its remarkable and active participation in the affairs of East Africa community. From the very outset of your country accession, Somalia has demonstrated admirable commitment to the ideals and aspiration of EAC integration. Your personal participation, Your Excellency, in all EAC summit and high-level engagement has set a strong tone of leadership and ownership that has cascaded across all levels of Somalia representation within the East Africa community. Today, Somalia is not just a mere new member. It is an active, central, and valuable participant in the key decision-making organs and program of East Africa community. This is a testament to your visionary leadership and the dedication of your government to advance the integration agenda for the benefit of the people of East Africa. Your Excellency, distinguished delegates, today's gathering is not just a conference. It is a historic convergence of vision and purpose, a testament that Somalia's accession to the East Africa community was not simply an expansion of geography, but an expression of possibilities, opportunities, and shared destiny. Somalia's entry marked a new chapter in our collective journey, reaffirming that EAC strength lies in the unity, destiny, and determination to transform challenges into opportunities. Within less than a year of accession, Somalia has already demonstrated remarkable momentum, establishing a national monitoring committee on non-tariff barriers, initiating policy alignment on trade facilitation, and mobilizing micro, small, and medium enterprises under a unified national confederation. These are not symbolic gestures, Your Excellency. They are practical, measurable steps that bring integration to life. Somalia participation in the 2024 EAC Regional MSME Trade Fair in South Sudan and its upcoming presence at the 2025 Nairobi Fair signals a nation ready to trade, to innovate, and to contribute meaningfully to our regional value chain. Your Excellency, the EAC stands firmly committed to supporting the accelerated integration of the Federal Republic of Somalia into EAC structures, systems, and programs. This support will particularly focus on priority areas such as trade liberalization and development, investment and industrial growth, and the free movement of persons, labor, and service across the borders. Beginning next week, Your Excellency, I shall have the honor of leading an EAC delegation to Mogadishu to commence the implementation of the Somalia EAC integration roadmap. This will operationalize the various EAC commitments under the 4 pillars of integration: the custom union, common market, monetary union, and ultimately the political federation. Through this framework, Somalia will be positioned fully to benefit from the community regional infrastructure development initiatives, including roads, railways, ports, and energy network. designed to enhance connectivity, facilitate trade, and spur industrial growth across our region. These projects will not only link Somalia more seamlessly to the regional and continental value chain, but also unlock new opportunities for its private sector and citizens alike. Moreover, Somalia's unique geographical advantage, boasting the regional national coastline in Africa, stretching over 3,000 kilometers, opens immense opportunities for the region's blue economy. This strategic asset provides a vital link between Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, presenting new frontiers for trade, maritime transport, fisheries, and ocean-based industries that can significantly boost interregional commerce and improve livelihood across East Africa. Your Excellency, the theme of this conference, Advancing Productive Sector Cooperation for Socioeconomic Transformation, could not be more timely or relevant. Our region's transformation will not be written in declarations. It will be built in the productive sectors such as agriculture, industry, trade, digital technology, and finance. These are the engines that will drive the prosperity of over 320 million East Africans across a region with a combined GDP of about $350 billion, transforming the EAC into one of the most dynamic and influential economic blocs on the continent. This expanding market size and collective economic weight strengthen our bargaining power and voice in international trade and business negotiation, positioning the EAC as a more competitive and attractive destination for the global investment. Your Excellency, I would like to report that EAC is now witnessing clear signs of transformation. In 2024, inter-EAC trade expanded to the $16.2 billion, a growth of nearly 20% in just 2 years. Total trade with the world reached $124 billion, representing a 14% increase. Cross-border investment surged to $567 million, spread across 72 projects that created thousands of jobs, particularly in manufacturing, logistics, and agro-processing. These figures tell a clear story. East Africa is on move, but the figures also challenge us to move faster, from growth to transformation, from resilience to competitiveness. On the four critical pillars for transformation: agriculture and food systems. Agriculture employs over 60% of our region's population and contributes more than 30% of our GDP. Yet productivity remains low. We must transition from subsistence to surplus through innovation, mechanization, and climate-smart practices. Somalia's fertile lands and vast coastal line position it as a potential bread basket, not only for the Horn, but for the entire East Africa. Industrialization and value addition. The EAC industrialization strategy aims to raise manufacturing contribution to GDP from about 10% to 25% by 2032. This requires a regional value chain that turn our raw materials into finished goods. Imagine Somali fisheries supplying regional canneries, Tanzania cotton feeding Rwanda textile plants, and Uganda grain supporting Kenya processors, which is a productive cooperation in action. trade facilitation, and infrastructure. Every hour lost at the border post, ever and remove non-tariff barrier is a lost opportunity. We must accelerate custom modernization, transport corridors, and one-stop border posts. Efficiency is not a luxury. It is a necessity for competitiveness. Digital transformation and financial inclusion. Somalia's mobile-first financial ecosystem is among the most dynamic in the world. It can serve as a model for regional interoperability, connecting markets, lowering transaction costs, and expanding inclusion. Digital infrastructure is the new corridor of commerce in East Africa, and East Africa must be a digital market by 2030. Your Excellency, transformation requires investment and imagination. Public resources alone cannot finance the scale of change we seek. We must harness public-private partnerships, leverage diaspora capital, and attract impact investors who see East Africa not as a risk, but as a rising frontier. Somalia alone receives over $2 billion annually in remittance, a powerful source of capital that, when structured through a diaspora bonds or enterprise fund, it can finance infrastructure, innovation, and small business enterprises. Across the EAC, remittance now exceeded $10 billion a year. Let us turn this flow into a development force. They are not just the leaders Your Excellency, our great asset is our people, especially the youth. Youth are more than 60%, and they are the potential of our growth in East Africa. They support the youth, they support our private sector, they support our economies, and they support our education. With this, Your Excellency, I would like to beg here to stop and pass the greeting from the East Africa headquarters, Arusha. Asanteni sana.
Thank you so much, Honorable Andrea, who's the Deputy Secretary of the East African Community. Please give him a big round of applause. I would like to next welcome to the stage His Excellency Honorable Ali Mohammed Omar, famously known as Ali Bal'at, who is the State Minister of the Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. Please give him a big round of applause.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Marka hore waxaan rabaa inaan mahad ballaaran u celiyo dhalinyaradii iyo guddigii soo qabanqaabiyey kulankan aan maanta u fadhino ka kala socday gaar ahaan labada jaamacadood, jaamacadda ummadda Soomaaliyeed iyo jaamacadda Simad, wasaaradda waxbarashada iyo wasaaradda arrimaha dibadda, oo in muddo ah ku howlanaa diyaarinta iyo qabanqaabada shirkan oo sanadkii labaad lagu qabanayo Soomaaliya. Marka waxaan jeclaan lahaa hal mar in loo sacbiyo. Sidoo kale waxaan rabaa in hay-adihii kala duwanaa ee suurtageliyey qabashada shirkan, amba ha ahaadeen kuwa ku taakuleeya dhaqaale, ama ha ahaadeen kuwa ku taakuleeya xigmad iyo mataqaanaa waqti, oo si gaara waxaan rabaa inaan ugu mahad celiyo hay-adda GIZ oo aan la-aanteed shirkan la qaban lahayn. Aydan waxaan rabaa in loo sacbiyo. Shirkan wuxuu isku keenay 3 tiirar oo aad u muhiim ah: tiirarkii aqoonta, tiirarkii ganacsiga, iyo tiirkii dowladda, oo haddii saddexdaasi ay midoobaan ay suurtagelin karaan in la dhiso dhaqaale iyo horumar ku saleysan aqoon, ku saleysan siyaasad dowladeed, ku saleysan mataqaanaa faa'iido abuurid ay ganacsatada abuuraan. Marka saddexdooda gooni uma shaqeyn karaan, inay wada shaqeeyaan oo ay noqoto meel aqoontu ay hogaamiso mataqaanaa dhaqaalaha iyo siyaasadda. waxaan isleeyahay waa meel aad iyo aad mataqaanaa aas-aas u ah. Shirkana aad iyo aad ayuu muhiim ugu yahay in saddexdaas hay-adood oo kala duwan ay isku yimaadaan. ku biiritaanka ay Soomaaliya ku biirtay geeska Afrika marka laga yimaado inuu yahay si sharci ah uu yahay laakiin Soomaalidu dad ahaan waxay marka hore xubno ka ahaayeen East Africa Soomaalidu dad ahaan waa dadka kaliya ee toddobada dal ee geeska Bariga Afrika ka jira si dhab ah uga shaqeysta uga ganacsada alaabta u kala qaada mataqaanaa from Mombasa to Kinshasa ama maalgelinta guryaha ku sameeysta toddobada dalba hanti badan ku leh marka Soomaalidu si natural ah ayay u ahayd inay uga mid ahaadaan East Africa marka xilligan bay suurta gashay mataqaanaa oo 2 sano ugu dambeeyay laakiin dad ahaan way ka mid ahaayeen ayagoo siyaabo kala duwan mataqaanaa uga howlgali jiray laakiin hadda ay u suurta galayso in si sharci ah uga dhex shaqeystaan ugu dhex noolaadaan ugu dhex safraan uga dhex ganacsadaan maxay tahay faa'iidada ugu weyn ee Soomaaliya u leedahay marka laga yimaado ganacsatada markaad suuq 10 milyan ama 20 milyan aad u adeegaysid iyo markaad suuq 320 milyan u adeegaysid way kala duwan tahay qofka raba inuu Soomaali maal gashtaa ma wuxuu fiirinayaa suuqa Soomaaliya oo kaliya mise wuxuu fiirinayaa suuqa aad u balaaran oo mataqaanaa 320 milyan marka faa'iidada maanta haddii kalluunka Soomaaliya inta la soo qabto la warshadeeyo waxaa jira suuq si sahal ah loogu dhoofin karo canshuur la'aan oo connectivity-giisa iyo mataqaanaa kulle mustaqbalka ay hagaagi doonto hadduu Ilaahay yiraahdo marka hore suuqaas uu faa'iido ugu leeyahay Soomaalida maxaa kaloo ayada u gaar ah Soomaalidu waxaa u gaar ah inay dad juqraafi ahaan ay xubin ka tahay geeska Afrika iyo Bariga Afrika taariikh ahaan iyo dhaqan ahaan ay xubin ka tahay mataqaanaa wadamada gacadka marka waxay noqonaysaa bridge amba buundo isku xirta dalalka Asia iyo Bariga Dhexe iyo Afrika mataqaanaa Bariga Afrika marka waxa anaga noo gaara waa dalka kaliya Indian Ocean iyo mataqaanaa Red Sea xuduud leh oo suurta gelin kara in ay transportationka iyo logisticska meelahaas ka yimaada ay si sahal ugu sii gudbaan mataqaanaa geeska Afrika ganacsatada Soomaalida muddadii dalku xoogaa dhibaatada ka jirtay waxay muujiyeen wax loo yaqaan resilience ama adkaysi taas oo sababtay maanta adduunku waxa aad loo hadlahay wax loo yaqaan fintech oo aad moodo inuu yahay erey cusub oo soo baxay 20 sano u dambeysay laakiin ganacsatada Soomaalida 30 sano u dambeysay ay ka shaqeynayeen fintech oo ay lacago u kala xawilayeen mataqaanaa maxay ahayd qoysaska iyo bulshooyinka kala duwan ee caalamka saasi lamida dhinaca isgaarsiinta mobileka ama telefoonada waxaa moodaa in 10 sano u dambeysay ay aad ugu fideen mataqaanaa caalamka iyo qaarada Afrika guud ahaanba laakiin Soomaalidu baadama aanay landline-ki iyo telefoonadii ay ka gudubtay ay ka booday waxa loo yaqaan leapfrog ay mobileka uu noqday wax mataqaanaa oo common ah oo arkaysid qofka geela raacaya inuu telefoon ku hadlayo ama maanta waayadii hore geela waxaan ku calaamaysan jirnay calaamada iyo waxaan u samaysan jirnay maanta waxaan ku qornaa telefoon ayaa dusha kaga qoran geelkii mataqaanaa hadduu dhumo waa la soo helaya cid iska lahayd marka anigu guud ahaan halkan waxaan u mid kaliya inaan hambalyadaas iyo soo dhaweyntaas bacdamaa wasaaradda arrimaha dibaddu ay ahayd wasaaraddii mashruucan marka laga yimaado jaamacadaha hogaaminaysay inaan muujino muhiimadda ay leedahay sida uu ka dhawaajiyey ku-xigeenka agaasimaha Bariga Afrika Soomaaliya waxay ku socota wax loo yaqaan road map oo ah mataqaanaa sidii ay u dhaqan gelin lahayd heshiisyadii iyo sharciyadii iyo mataqaanaa policies-kii laga rabay usbuuca soo socdan waxaa furmi doona shir kaleente oo ay dowladda Soomaaliya iyo East Africa ay ku wada kulmi doonaan magaalada Muqdisho oo laga wada hadlayo sidii loo dhaqan gelin lahaa protokoolada iyo siyaasadaha kala duwan ee suuqaas yaala East Africa way ka duwan tahay heshiisyada kale aan la galno jaamacadda Carabta iyo Midowga Afrika way ka duwan tahay East Africa waxa waaye waa urur la wada leeyahay oo shuruucdiisu ay dalalka ka wada fulayaan marka sharciga socdaalka ee East Africa wuxuu noqonayaa in la waafajiyo sharciga socdaalka ee Soomaaliya sidoo kale inta shuruucda kala duwan ee East Africa ay leedahay iyo kuwa Soomaaliya waxay noqonayaan in la waafajiyo marka hawl aad u balaaran hawl maalin kaliya lagu dhameyn karo maaha waa hawl sanado qaadanayso laakiin bilow fiican ayaan ku jirnaa hadda waxaan ka mid nahay wadamada aad u firfircoon ee ka mid ah ayaan ka mid nahay marka waxaan rajaynayaa in loo arko inuu yahay shaqo socota oo aan loo arkin wax hal mar inta xubin laga noqday haddana ay tahay mataqaanaa in wixii ay iska dhammaadeen laakiin waa hawl joogtaa oo dhammaan wasaaradaheena kala duwan ha ahaato wasaaradda beeraha ha ahaato xoolaha ha ahaato wasaaradda energy-ga communication-ka mana wasaarad aysan taabanaynin ma jirto baarlamaanka xubin ka noqon doono hay-adaheena amniga militariga iyo booliiska qaybo ka noqon doonaan marka east africa waxaa aad u ballaaran laakiin shirkan waxaan xooga saari doonaa aqoonta mataqaana wax soo saarka beeraha iyo waxa loo yaqaano AI-ga oo xilliyadan dambe mataqaana adduunka aad ugu fiday marka inta waddan keliya uu gooni u samaysan lahaa AI gaara in alliance la abuuro oo AI mataqaana regionka u dhan yahay aqoonta uu qaybsado oo mataqaana ay xogti wadaagaan aad ay muhiim u tahay marka waxaan soo dhaweynayaa guud ahaan shirkan furitaankiisa waxaan rajaynayaa in mataqaana maxay labada maalmood soo socda dadka kala duwan ee meesha jooga ay si mataqaana ka faa'iidaystaan dhalinyarada dambena waxaan ka codsanaynaa xoogaa inay guuxa aad u yareeyaan marka waad mahadsantihiin
aad iyo aad ayuu mahadsan yahay wasiir dowlaha cali balcad speakerka ku xigo waxaa waaye His Excellency Mohamed Abdi Xayir oo ah Minister of Agriculture and Irrigation of the Federal Republic of Somalia. Please give him a big round of applause.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Your Excellency Somali President Dr. Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, colleague ministers, ambassadors and diplomatic missions, universities, development partners, Somali private sector, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my great honor as a Minister of Agriculture and Irrigation of Federal Republic of Somalia and co-organizer of this conference to welcome you all to the EACCON 2025 here in Mogadishu. A conference that reflects not just a regional vision, but a shared destiny for our people. Your presence is the testimony to our collective commitment to building a stronger, more integrated East Africa rooted in cooperation, resiliency, and economic opportunity. I thank your organizers, including my ministry's team, as well as sponsors. I am glad that this year's EACCON conference theme is to emphasize advancing productive sector. I thank you to the Secretariat and the organizers. Somalia is a pivotal moment in our history. After years of fragility, delays, and dependency on food import and aid, Somalia is rising. We are a nation with immense and untapped potential, rich in agricultural resources, with over 8.9 million hectares of arable land and a livestock population exceeding 57 million heads. Every year we export between 4 to 6 million heads of livestock, including some sourced from neighboring countries that rely on our borders and export infrastructure to Middle East. We possess vast natural resources, including minerals, gold, oil, and gas. Our geographic location places us at a strategic crossroad, offering both Somalia and East African community direct access to some of the world's most food-demanding region, the Middle East and Asia. We have 7 operational ports and the longest coastline in mainland Africa, spanning 3,300 kilometers, rich in mineral resources, full of fish, and ripe for sustainable development. There is an ample opportunity to develop new ports, tourism destinations, resorts, trade hubs linking to Africa, the Middle East, and global market. Somalia is now debt-free and open for business. Our government has already put in place a robust policies to attract and protect investors, and establishing investor-friendly business infrastructure and platforms. We offer unparalleled regional connectivity as an active member of both East African Community and the Arab League, while also belonging to COMESA and pursuing WTO membership. Somalia is a member of the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, MIGA, to ensure investor security. We currently serve as the UN Security Council. These affiliations and reforms demonstrate that Somalia is credible, stable, and a strategic partner for investment. Through the National Transformation Plan, agriculture stands at the center as an inclusive engine of growth. We are modernizing irrigation infrastructure, expanding climate-smart value chain, strengthening post-harvest systems, and unlocking regional market to ensure Somali farmers and agro-entrepreneurs can compete and thrive. This commitment is not just heroic. It is backed by a bold reforms, clear investment framework, and a strong partnership. We are already collaborating with the key institutions, including World Bank, African Development Bank, IFAD, FAO, WFP, and the Green Climate Fund. Through our legacy program and hand-in-hand initiative, Somalia is mobilizing a 2 billion investment pipeline targeting 7 strategic value chains. This program alone is expected to create more than 3.5 million jobs and significantly boost the national export revenue, providing that agricultural transformation can drive inclusive growth. Yet Somali's history is not confined with our borders. Our agricultural future is the regional, and that is why our recent accession to the East African Community is not just a diplomatic milestone, but a strategic turning point. Somalia did not join the community merely to trade, but to integrate. We have already begun aligning policies, harmonizing standards, connecting infrastructure, building sharing value chain with our East African partners. We offer strategic connectivity through our ports, corridors, and transport systems linking to landlocked countries to global market. We bring untapped export potential across livestock, cereals, oil seeds, fruits, and fisheries. We offer youthful entrepreneur population eager to innovate, build, and compete. Most importantly, we bring a government that believes East Africa's strength lies in unity, not isolation. To our brothers and sisters in the East African community, I say this: Somalia is not on the sidelines. We are stepping up. We are ready to collaborate on regional food security programs, connect our research institutions, expand agricultural trade, and jointly develop agro-businesses venture that benefits all of our people. We believe Somalia products and Somali potential should flow across the region as a part of dynamic and inclusive East Africa market. When Somali agriculture thrives, East Africa thrives. Our strategy is win-win approach. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, agriculture is the future of Somalia. And Somalia is ready to contribute meaningfully to the East Africa community. We are ready to walk this journey together, not in competition, but in coordination and collaboration. Not as a separate nation, but as one region moving toward a shared goal, a food secure, prosperous, and resilient East Africa. Thank you. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Minister of Agriculture and Irrigation of the Federal Government of Somalia. Please give him a big round of applause. I would also like to mention that the ministry is one of the co-organizers of this event and this conference, obviously led by his strategic leadership. The Minister, we thank you once again to being part of this initiative and supporting the East African Conference 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the media team are really eager to show you something that I've been wanting to introduce. We are going to look into a video prepared that talks about AI Alliance in the East African community. The East African community is taking a step forward into utilizing technology and innovation to foster trade and the productive sector, which is the core theme of this year's conference. Please, before we play the video, I'd like to urge the Minister of the Education and Cultural Heritage, who will come next, and give his speech, as well as welcome the Federal Government of Somalia's President, His Excellency Hassan Sheikh Mohamud. Please, media team, play the video. Thank you.
The EAC AI Alliance represents East Africa's most ambitious digital transformation initiative, a groundbreaking partnership between universities, governments, and international partners across all 8 EAC member states. Through this alliance, we are establishing national AI hubs in every partner country, creating a federated network of excellence that will train 50,000 people and 10,000 researchers while developing 30 new educational and research products.
Heads of state have made it clear.
We'll modernize higher education, foster cross-border research, and strengthen innovation networks. By developing 30 new teaching and research products and introducing demand-driven curricula, we are aligning learning with regional priorities.
Germany has been a close partner to the EAC since 25 years. Our partnership has empowered more than 4,000 East Africans with digital skills. We are not stopping there. Germany is investing in the EAC Regional AI Alliance, through which East Africa and Europe are working together on AI. We cooperate to ensure AI in the EAC is fair, inclusive, and benefits all.
The EAC AI Alliance seeks to position East Africa as the continental leader in responsible AI innovation. By 2028, we will have established the region's first harmonized AI policy framework, created sustainable pathways for 230 million digital jobs, and build a robust ecosystem where artificial intelligence serves as a tool for opportunity creation, challenge resolution, and equitable development across our region. Together, we are not just preparing for the digital future, we are creating it. Today, Somalia officially joins this transformative journey toward digital leadership and is ready to contribute meaningfully to our collective vision. The next chapter is unfolding right here, right now. Join us live on stage to witness how this alliance will reshape the future of AI in East Africa.
AI is about people. It is about opportunity and ethics to ensure that no one is left behind in the East African community.
Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video and the message behind it. I would like to clarify one thing. Next, we will have His Excellency Farah Sheikh Abdul Qadir give his speech. And after that, I would like to request His Excellency to welcome the President as well as the organizers for an official launch of the AI Alliance in East African Community. Thank you so much.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. مدحوينها جمهورية فدرالك الصومالية صاحب بدي حبنها قولها وسير هذا سفير هذا ودمدا أين وراءها نهاي كحجين كحجيها جود بريغا أفريكا قابن قابياشا شروينها إيكون اللبات كارهان جامعة أمد الصوماليات جامعة سيمت هي جامعة بيروت دلك جرمالكا مدحدا iyo ganacsatada iyo rugta ganacsiga iyo shirkadaha gaar ahaan sponsor gareey ee Hormuud iyo Dahabshiil GIZ iyo dhammaan ka qaybgalayaasha oo dhan waxaan idin leeyahay marka hore maalin wanaagsan. Assalaamu calaykum waraxmatullaahi wabarakaatuh. mudana madaxweyne mudanayaal iyo marwooyin markii aynu ku biirnay bulshaweynta bariga Afrika waxaanu go'aan ku gaarnay haddii aanu nahay waxbarashada inaanu hogaamino la qabsiga bulshada bariga Afrika. bulsho tagtay oo naga horeysay oo aanu gadaal ka soo gaarayna ayay ahayd. marka la qabsigaas halkee laga bilaabaya? marka la qabsiga waxaynu ka bilaabnay marka hore inaan dardar gelino oo aan xawli ku socono si aynu u gaarno meesha ay joogto inaynu kala qabsano gaar ahaan haddii aynu nahay waxbarashada. laba howlood oo aad iyo aad u muhiim ah ayaan tallaabo u qaadnay. mid waa in aynu qayb ka noqono East African Qualification Framework waxa la yiraahdo saabka waxbarashada ee bariga Afrika uu leeyahay iyo sida shahaadooyinkooda iyo aqoontooda loo qiimeeyo inaynu qayb ka noqono. midda labaadna waa inaynu qayb ka noqono ururka ay leeyihiin jaamacadaha bariga Afrika ay leeyihiin oo markaaynu samaysanay hadda guddiga sare ee tacliinta sare uu qayb muhiim ah uu ka yahay guddiyada sare ee tacliinta sare ee wadamada bariga Afrika oo aynu si dardar leh iyo xoog leh aynu uga shaqeyno. aan xuso inuu halkan joogo gudoomiyaha guddiga tacliinta sare ee qaranka Professor Cabdinuur oo hadda muddo 2 bilood ka yar ka shaqeynaya howlahan isaga iyo guddigiisa laakiin hawsha ugu weyn ay qabanayeen maalmihii la soo dhaafay toddobaadii la soo dhaafay ay ahayd bariga Afrika la qabsigiisa sidii ay uga shaqeyn lahaayeen. طبعا waxaa kaloo ka shaqeynaa oo daraasadeeda wadnaa in luqadda bariga Afrika ay noqoto luqad dalka Soomaaliya lagu barto oo ah luqadda Sawaaxiliga. hay-adaheena waxbarashaduna ay ka shaqeynayaan si marka soo socdo oon rajaynaya EACCON soo socoto in halkan af Sawaaxiliga dadka ku hadlaa ay ka bataan dadka af Ingiriiska ku hadlaa. midda labaad mudana madaxweyne waxa aan mudanayaal iyo marwooyin waxa aan ka shaqeynay in aqoontu ay hogaamiso wax soo saarka inay hogaamiso. wax soo saarkeeni iska traditionalka ahaa taqliidiga ahaa marar badan muruqa iyo aqoontii aanan durugsanayn ku dhisnaa maanta meel laguma gaari karo. marka in aqoontu ay hogaamiso oo ay xiriir dhow yeeshaan hay-adaha waxbarashada iyo hay-adaha wax soo saarka iyo hay-adaha ganacsiga ama ha ahaadeeno kuwa bangiyada kuwa isgaarsiinta kuwa beeraha kuwa xoolaha kuwa kalluumaysiga iyo kuwa macdantaba. haddaan u soo laabto marka EACCON oo qaybtiisii labaad maanta aynu joogno sanad ka hor waxaan ka hadlaynay integrationka ama la qabsiga siduu u suurageli karaa sidaynu ula falgeli karnaa ayaynu ka hadlaynay oo si guud ahayd. laakiin midkan maanta labaad waxa aynu ka hadlaynaa siduu hal abuurka qayb uga noqon karaa wax soo saarka. marka meesha ay waxbarashadu halkaa ka hogaamisana waa midaas. طبعا sanadkii hore iyo sanadkan farqi weyn ayaa u dhaxeeya ka soo qaybgalka iyo diyaarinta iyo mowduucyada laga hadlayo. iyo sida loo soo abaabulay waxaan si gaara aad ugu mahadcelinayaa qabanqaabiyaasha oo ay ugu horeeyaan jaamacadda ummadda Soomaaliyeed jaamacadda Simad iyo jaamacadda Beirut sidoo kale GIZ iyo East African Community oo runtii shaqo badan ka qabtay mudane madaxweyne ma ahan shir ama xaflad maalin iyo laba la isugu yimaado EACCON waxa waaye hawl loo baahan yahay in la hayo sanadka oo dhan hawsha maanta meeshan ka dhalata ama hawsha sanadka hore ka dhalatay wax badan baa laga soo qabtay tan maanta ka dhalatana wax badan ayaa laga qaban doonaa mudane madaxweyne waxaan kuugu soo dhaweynayaa in aad halkan marka hore la inoo furo AI ama caqliga macmalka ah regional hubka East Africa ay ku yeelanayso dalkeena ay ku yeelanayso taasoo wax weyn ka tari doonta inuu isbedelo qaab fikirkeena qaab wax soo saarkeena iyo qaab shaqo qabashadeennaba inta aanan la gaarin khudbadaada in aad soo jeediso marka waxaan rajaynayaa in protocolka uu inoo diyaariyo aad iyo aad baad u mahadsantihiin mudane madaxweyne soo dhawow organizerska adaa garanaysa
aad iyo aad u mahadsan yahay wasiir Farax kusoo dhaweeya madaxweynaha federaalka Soomaaliya stageka waxaa jeclaan lahaa inaan kusoo dhaweeyo dadkan oo ka mid yihiin organizerska shirkan oo East African Conference. I would like to welcome to the stage first the organizers who are the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Wazir Balad, Ministry of Agriculture and Irrigation of the Federal Republic of Somalia. I would like to welcome Ms. Dr. Mahmoud from the Somali National University, Dr. Abd Karim from Simad University, a representative from University of Beirut, yes, and of course, without forgetting our sponsors, GIZ. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the official launch of the AI Alliance in the East African community. I would also like to welcome to the stage Honorable the Deputy Secretary of the East African community, as well as the Special Envoy for Somalia in the East African Conference, in the East African community, Dr. Abdussalam Haliye. Please give them a big round of applause. This is the official AI Alliance launch happening here in Mogadishu for the first time. Please give them a big round of applause. That is not enough. A big one, a big one. This is massive. Thank you so much. Please, can we have the video up again? The media team, please. We want to capture this beautiful moment. Thank you so much. I would like to request for all of us to come down except the federal government, the President of the Federal Government of Somalia to deliver his speech. Please give him a big round of applause.
بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. مرتضى شرفت له نوغتي من ذلك دبديس يجوده سبا ضمان كسوق بقلياشة وحن لها مركلة. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. آدي أي فرح قليل نساء يقولتها فرحت آد وين إن أن ما أنت هرتي نسوي استعجوا عن كسوق بقلو برنامج إيكون كيس اللبات كلن كيس اللبات كدع أيام مقالة مقدشو سيدا هل كان هرأي لو قد واجيي سفر كصوماليا أي سوق شيء إن أي كمد نقطه سوق دقالها برق أفريكا سفر آدي ودير أو دوري 10 سنة سو سعود أيوها حموجين إسا meel si sahlan looga qayb galo ama lagu biiro ama laga mid noqdo inaanay ahayn ee ay ahayd meel u baahan howl aad iyo aad u ballaaran marka hore in la qabto si looga qayb galo. kulanka labaad ee EACCON 2025 ee magaalada Muqdishona wuxuu astaan u yahay ka mid noqoshadii suuqaas kadib Soomaaliya dadaalka ay u gashay inay la jaan qaado bulshada Bariga Afrika. waxaa noo bilowday waa cusub oo isku beerid ah annaga iyo walaalaheenna ku nool Bariga Afrika guud ahaan. suuqa Bariga Afrika ee dhaqaalaha sida uu muhiim u yahay iyo waxyaabaha uu muhiimka la yahay in badanoo ka mid ah waa laga hadlay, waa la sheegay, ma doonayno inaan u noqonno. laakiin annaga Soomaaliya si gaar ah ayay farxad noogu tahay sida haddaatay wasiiru dowlaha arrimaha dibadda halkan kaga dhawaajiyey dadka Soomaaliyeed ee ganacsatada ah, spiritka ganacsatada iyo ruuxa ganacsiga ee ku jiraahi markii duruufaha Soomaaliya ay ku adkaadeen xataa inay ganacsigoodii halkan ku practice gareeyaan wixii ay hanti haysteen waxay la aadeen wadamada Bariga Afrika intooda badan oo ay ganacsigoodii iyo maalkoodii ay gashadeen. taasina waxay daliil ama caddayn dhab ay u tahay dadka Soomaalida iyo dadka ku nool Bariga Afrika in ay yacni isdhexgalkoodii iska mid ahaanshahoodu inuu ka sii fog yahay oo ka yacni fogaan badan yahay dad ay isu keenaan qawaaniin iyo heshiisyo siyaasadeed lee dad ay isu keenaan inay ka micno badan yihiin. maanta dalka Soomaaliya shaqaalaha dalka Soomaaliya ka shaqeeya public iyo private labadaba ee aan Soomaalida ahayn intooda ugu badan waxay ka yimaadeen wadamada East Africa ay ka yimaadeen oo ay dalkan ku joogaan muxuu ahaay walaaltinimadaas iyo iska mid ahaanshahaas. Soomaaliya duruufo adag oo dhib badan ayay soo martay sida halkan looga muujinayay parametriska lagu cabiro horumarka iyo maxaan ku raadayay iyo dhaqaalaha iyo wax walba meelaha ay ka joogto marka la barbar dhigo dalalka kale. hase yeeshee muddadii koobneed hadda ay Soomaaliya dhaqaaqaysay runtii tallaabooyin khaasatan intii aan dhowaan aan ku biirnay suuqa Bariga Afrika Soomaaliya way dhaqaaqday. maxaa dhaqaaqeeda ugu weynaa Soomaaliya in ay samaysatay tooliskii ama aaliyaadkii suuqa Bariga iyo Bartamaha Afrika ku xiri lahaa dhinac kasta. taas ayaa hadda ugu weyn ay gaartay. hadda wixii ka dambeeyana aaliyaadkaas iyo shuruucdaas iyo nidaamkaas Soomaaliya ay degsatay siday ula jaan qaadi lahaayeen suuqa Bariga iyo Bartamaha Afrika iyo qaaradda Afrika guud ahaan. inta waxaa laga sheegay haddaatay Vision 2060 Soomaaliya ay samaysay si ay ula jaan qaado Vision 2050ga muxuu ay leedahay East Africa iyo Agenda 2063ga African Unionka ay leedahay iyo barnaamijkan Vision 2060 dhaqangelintiisa tuulka loo sameeyay ah National Transformation Planka oo qaybsan ilaa laga gaarayo 2060. waxaasoo dhamay waxay u adeegayaan Soomaaliya doorka saxda ay leedahay, fursadda saxda ay leedahay ka mid ahaanshaha ay East Africa ka mid noqonaysa. dhammaan hadafka ugu weyn ee East Africa Community loo aasaasay Soomaaliyana ay ugu biirtay, Soomaaliyana ay hadda rabto inay role muhiim ah oo muuqda ay ka qaadato waxay tahay sidii loo sii dhaqan geli lahay, loo sii dhaqaaji lahay ummaddu in ay gaarto barwaaqo, prosperity iyo isku milan mid ahaansho ee dhinac walba ah. Soomaaliya qaybteeda ayay taas ka qaadanaysaa ayadoo duruufeeda gaarkaana la harjadaysa isla markaana waxa kala dhaxeeya Bariga Afrika muxuu kala shaqeynayso. Soomaaliya waxyaabaha ayada oo duruufo aad iyo aad u adag ay ku jirto ay si micno leh ay u dhaqaajisay waxna uga gaartay waxa ka mid ah dabcan dhinaca tiknoolajiyada iyo casriyeynta innovations ayaa ka mid ah. ayadoon dalkani dowladdu ay waayana abay jirinba, waayana ay daciif ahayd ayaa haddana tiknoolajiga sida telecommunicationka, internetka, banking systemka, digitalization of financingka, digital moneyga, all this ayaa Soomaaliya waxay ka ciyaartay ama maanta ka taagan tahay meel aad iyo aad u weyn. East Africa marka la fiiriyo, Soomaaliya waxay ka mid tahay dalalka isticmaalka mobile phone-ka ugu sarreeya marka dadkeeda as a per capita loo fiiriyo. Isticmaalka telefoonka halow bas ma aha iyo hooyada ayaan la hadlay, isticmaalka telefoonka dhaqaaliya ku xirmay oo maanta wax walba lacagtii iyo dhaqaalihii iyo suuqii iyo daatadii suuqa iyo wixii oo dhan la isku dhaafsanaya ayuu marayaa. waa sida la sheegay wuxuu bedelayaa maanta isticmaalka telefoonka astaantii xoolaha aan ku dhiga jirnay ee qarniyaasha soo jiri jiray in laga guuro oo telephone number lagu astaysto neefka xoolaha haddii uu dhumo qofkii arkay si uu telefoonkaas u waco oo u yiraahdo neefkaagii halkan uu joogaa. Visionka 2060 ee centennialka ah qarni jirka ah ee Soomaaliya wax badan ayaa Soomaaliya uga xiran oo aan saan u sheegay midka East Africa la jaanqaadkiisa, midka Afrika la jaanqaadkiisa intaba. laakiin waxa kale oo muhiim u yahay in uu u noqdo signpost dadka Soomaalida ay fiirsadaan mar walba si aanay u habaabin meelo kalena aanay u walaxleexan. Bilariska uu ka koobmaahayna waxay dhammaan tilmaan u yihiin ama signpostkaas ay u yihiin dadka Soomaalida waxa muhiim ku ah. aad waxaa looga dhawaajiyey arrinta human capitalka iyo muhiimadda ay u leedahay. adduunyadu waxay isku raacsan tahay faktorka ugu weyn inuu yahay horumarka inuu yahay human capitalka. dad ayagu horumarsan haddaanay jirin dalku ma horumari kara ilaa waxa shaqada dalka uu ku horumaraya dadaa qabto. Soomaaliya muddo hore ayaa ay bilowday safarka dheer ee lagu horumarinaya karaanka aadanaha ama human capitalka. jaamacadaheena meelo kala duwan ee ahdiye kala duwan ay soo bareen aad iyo aad ayaan ugu ammaanaya jaamacadaha iyo bahda waxbarashada guud ahaan waayihii ay soo bilaabeen duruufihii ay ku soo bilaabeen waana wax lagu farxo maanta meesha ay marayaan inay la jaan qaadaan jaamacada qarniyaal soo jiray tobanaan soo jiray sano in maanta shahaadooyinkii iyo aqoontii iyo dadkii jaamacadeena ka soo baxay intaba in si sahlan loo aqbalay oo loo soo dhaweynayo. guddiga tacliinta sare ee Higher Education Commission-ka laga dhawaajinayay waa tuulkii ugu dambeeyey ee maxaan ku rahay ducfiga ama gaabiska ka jira tacliinteena sare lagu dhammaystirayay. waa ku faraxsanahay 15 khabiir oo Soomaali ah oo waaya arag ah oo academically maxaan ku rahay grounded ah in ay mas'uuliyadaas qaadeen. waxaanan ayagoo already haddaba tacliinta Soomaaliya ay meel fiican marayso guddigaasi waxaan rajaynayaa in uu ku sii dari doono. Soomaaliya waxa ay dooratay horumarkeeda dhaqaalaha waxay u dooratay model oo private ka horkacayo, a private driven economic model oo ah dadka private-ka dowladuna doorkeeda ay leedahay oo maxaan ku raahday sharci dejintii iyo nidaamkii iyo abuuristii environmentiga ama saaxo aad iyo aad u sahlaysa private ka hadday tahay amni, hadday tahay qawaaniin, hadday tahay infrastructure-ka waaweyn ee public-ga qaarkiis intaasoo dhan in ay dowladuna fududayso. bahda waxbarashada marka hadday tahay jaamacad iyo waxbarashada caadiga intaba mas'uuliyadaas weyn oo dalkan inuu hinqado oo kor u hinqado ayaa saaran. maanta in ay Soomaaliya ay mid ka sii mid noqoto sida ay maalmo badanba midba mar ay uga soo mid noqonaysay arrintan muxuu ahaa partnership-ka AI maanta adduunyadu way sii socotaa sida haddaati oo ku xigeenka xogayaha guud ee East Africa uga dhawaajiyeen AI yani wax mustaqbalka ah oo loo sii diyaar garoobaya ma aha. AI waa reality maanta jirta oo run ah oo joogta oo aan la macaamilayno waaye inaan marka aqoonteedii iyo muxuu expertise-keedii aan la nimaado. aqoonteeda iyo expertise-ka ay eedana isolated oo yani ama hal wadan ama hal degaan ama hal region oo adduunka xataa ku kooban ma is a global phenomena oo u baahan global collaboration sidaas jaamacadaha internationalka jaamacadaha regionalka East Africa kuwa localka Soomaalida dhammaan in la isku dayo really wax aad iyo aad loogu farxo tirada maxaan ku rahaa ama researchers ama academics inay ku mashquulaan ay tahay arintaasi waa arin aad iyo aad u weyn waa seef laba afley ah AI horumar wanaag deganaanshiyo prosperity adeeg oo hufan intaba way horseedi kartaa khataro amni iyo kuwa caafimaad iyo kuwa environment iyo kuwa kalena waa horseedi kartaa laakiin maadaama ay dhammaan ay tahay wax annaga gacanta bini aadamka ku jira ee lagu maamulayahay inta fiican ayaa xoogga la saaray ilaa iyo hadda waan loo saaray ma dhiiri gelinayno marka ay defense iyo la isku weeraray iyo dagaal lagu aaday iyo marka ay tahay maya laakiin marka ay ka shaqeynayso caafimaadka waxbarashada wax soo saarka beeraha amniga maxaan wax kasta oo nolosha bini aadamka wax ku daraayo marka ay ka shaqeynayso waa mid aan u taaganahay oo aan rabno ganacsatada Soomaaliyeed waxaan ku dhiirigelinayaa safarka dheer ee mar hore ay soo bilaabeen inay ku sii durkaan horan ugu sii socdaan waa qodobka kalena maanta waxaan rabaa inaan ganacsatadeena maalin walba meelaan imaanaynaaye maanta meesha inaan nimaado oo aan ka nimaadno oo aan qaarkood ku ammaanayo in ay maalgeliyeen tacliinta inay maalgeliyeen adeega bulshada aan ku ammaanaya laakiin weli waxaan leeyahay way yar tahay ganacsatadu businesskooda iyo profitskooda qayb ka mida waa inay u gaar yeelaan ma aha innovation of their own businesskooda sidoo hore u mari lahay innovations iyo muxuu ah creativity ula imaanahay way ka shaqeeyaan waana leeyihiin waana ka sii shaqeyn doonaan laakiin midda caamka national research institutionska regional research institutionska in la sameeyo jaamacaduhu sidoodaba laba fariin ayay xambaarsan yihiin cilmi iyo aqoon inay abuuraan oo ay curiyaan ay dhaliyaan waa mid cilmigaas iyo aqoontaas ay dhaliyeen iyo kuwa hore loo soo dhaliyay inay baahiyaan oo ay gaarsiiyaan dadkan waa midda labaad cilmiga iyo aqoonta ma abuuri karaan haddii aanay helin dhaqaale ku filan oo ay ku qabtaan shaqadaas hadday tahay qalab hadday tahay aqoon hadday tahay maxaa ku rahaa nololeedka qofka researcherka waxaa ka shaqeynaya hadday tahay intaba sidaas daraaddeed waxaan ku bogaadinayaa ama ku boorinayaa ganacsatadeenna meel kastoo ay joogaan in ay profitkooda ay certain percentage ay u gooyaan research and innovation oo at large level ah maaha organizational level iyo business level kooda ayaga u gaarka maaha way leeyihiin waan ognahay dabcan sida jaratiga inta ay ku bixiyaanba aanan loo cashuurayn taas waxay ku bixiyaanna lama cashuurayo way cashuurtana way kasii fududaynaysaa haddii aan leeyahay waxaan rabaa inaan kusoo gunaado hadalkayga hambalyo aan hambalyaynayo bogaadinayo shirka labaad ee EACCON oo aan leeyahay sanad kasta waa in wax cusub oo lagu farxo oo dhagaha dadku ay ku farxaan inaan lagu sii kordhiyo maalkaasna laga sii wado waxaan aad iyo aad u bogaadinayaa guud ahaan dadka Soomaaliyeed inay la qaataan bulshada bariga Afrika alayska hal biibul iyo hal mustaqbal in uu na hogaamiyo fadhigan maanta aan fadhinay iyo fadhiyada kale iyo guud ahaan hab nololeedkeena iyo businesskeena ganacsatadeena waa inay businesskooda u qaabeeyaan inay la jaan qaadaan businessyada ka jira East Africa ma aha oo kaliya haddaan aniga businesskayga Kenya ama Tanzania ama Uganda ama aan ka furto inaan shuruucda iyo nidaamyada waddankaas jira aan u hoggaansamo ka soko qaabka iyo dhaqanka iyo habsocodka businesska inaan la jaan qaadno wasiirka sidoo uga dhawaajiyay hadaatay jaamacadda ummadda Soomaaliyeed guud ahaan jaamacadaha Soomaaliya gaar ahaan jaamacadda ummadda Soomaaliyeed inay xoog badan geliso horumarinta luqadda sawaaxiliga oo ah luqadda East Africa ay leedahay